Questions for reflection. Ecclesiastes is the fourth of the wisdom books of the Hebrew Scriptures, what Christians call the Old Testament. Often, at first glance, it seems to present this wisdom from a pessimistic perspective. But upon prayerful reading and reflection, it opens up and becomes a great resource for the reader and student who seeks to grow in natural and supernatural maturity. It's human and earthy. This passage we heard today is an example of its human and earthy wisdom. The sage is advising young men to live a healthy, upright life, honoring God. Life is fleeting, and we will age and die. The patterns we form when we are young matter and guide us into our later years. Over the years I've been involved in ministry, I've been at the deathbed of many. I often find that people die the way they live. What we choose not only changes the world around us, it changes us. The psalmist and prophet David continues the same sobering theme in our responsorial psalm. We are given but a span of years in this temporal life. How we spend them matters, not only in this life, but in the life to come. Are we living every day as if it were our last? It may be. Our gospel passage for today's Holy Mass is taken from the last part of the 9th chapter of St. Luke's account. Jesus had just delivered a young boy from demon possession. His disciples had been asked to do so by the grieving father, but were unable to do so. And now, he speaks to the disciples of his coming passion and death. They were unable to comprehend what he meant. Conversion is an ongoing process. When we follow the gospel accounts, we see the gradual growth in the disciples of Jesus as they cooperate with grace. They were still focused on themselves. In fact, what immediately follows is an argument between the disciples as to who among them will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. The gradualness of our own conversion is a reality as well. Just as there are stages in our natural development, as we heard in the wise words of the sage in the first reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, so it is in our spiritual maturity. The image of God is reflected in our human freedom. What we do with our human freedom matters. When we give it back to the Lord, turning it toward choosing Him and His truth before our own desires, we make the greatest progress in Christian maturity. And the Lord gives us the grace to do so when we ask Him. But the choice is ours. What are we choosing?